Hi guys, so Boris Johnson is the head of the Conservative and Unionist Party. That is its full name. So you would imagine that the latter part of that title would be somewhat important to the Tories and its leader. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case. You see, in the House of Commons on Wednesday, towards the end of PMQs, Sammy Wilson of the DUP stood up in Parliament and raised an issue that was related to Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, but the problem is Boris Johnson was no longer there. He jumped up as soon as Sammy Wilson began to speak and fled the chamber.
Speaker, on the 23rd of June, my colleague for...
I don't know if you can see, but in the centre of the screen is Boris Johnson leaving the chamber.
Lagan Valley asked the Prime Minister whether Article 6 of the Act of Union 1800 had been impliedly repealed when the protocol was approved, the Northern Ireland Protocol was approved by the House of Commons. The Prime Minister answered emphatically no. Last Thursday in the High Court, responding to a case made by the government's lawyers that the Northern Ireland Protocol was not in conflict with the Act of Union because Article 6, which guaranteed equal trade across the United Kingdom, had been impliedly repealed when the Withdrawal Act was passed through the House of Commons. Mr Justice Colton agreed that indeed Article 6 of the Act of Union had been overridden by the passing of the Withdrawal Acts here.
Okay, and this is just pointless talk. But what I want to highlight here is how Boris Johnson just has complete and utter contempt for the DUP. Sammy Wilson standing up to ask a question of the Prime Minister, and where is Boris Johnson? Gone out the door. Didn't even bother to stay and wait for the question to be finished. No, he's like, okay, Sammy Wilson is speaking, I'm going. I don't know if Boris Johnson knew what the question was related to, or he just said, oh, damn it, it's the DUP again. I don't want to listen to those idiots. I'm leaving. You know, now some people may say, well, why didn't the Speaker of the House stop Boris Johnson from leaving? He can't. He doesn't have that power. If Boris Johnson wants to get up and walk out, he can do that. He can ask Boris Johnson to remain, but he can't keep him there. So when it comes to the Conservative and Unionist Party, the Unionist part isn't really that important. And it seems to be getting weaker by the day, because if you look at Scotland, as soon as Boris Johnson goes north of the border, his approval rating in Scotland dips even further. It's probably in negative figures at the moment. So he's not popular in Scotland. He has not returned to Northern Ireland since his lies about the border in the Irish Sea. Isn't that interesting that he hasn't returned to Northern Ireland to meet with the people he lied to, in a similar way to Nigel Farage not returning to the fishing communities and speaking to those he lied to as well. But once again, this reinforces the idea that, and I've said this on numerous occasions, Boris Johnson doesn't care about the unionist community. He doesn't care about the DUP. He doesn't care about anyone who's not Boris Johnson. And no amount of begging or hoping or giving Boris Johnson chances from the DUP's point of view, nothing is going to change. Sammy is not someone I admire, but I do feel a little bit sorry for him in this situation. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?